what we're going to do,
Yeah,
because we're getting towards the end of the show, and Joshua Birch has also sort
yeah,
of rejoined, and I'm going to add him to
right.
the
So
conversation,
yeah,
if you can,
okay,
Pico.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we'll we'll end with we'll hear Josh's thoughts, and then we'll start thinking about calling it a day. Josh, welcome back to the FE bar.
Hello,
Hello,
yeah.
yes, we can
I
hear
mean,
you. What's your thoughts on attack charge?
that's why I came back in, because I was listening and you were all doing it really well. And as I was thinking, it is like it's gone back to being a bit like Gen 1, where the racing is going to be disrupted for up to a minute. And one thing that we haven't said is that it's only one driver that can pit per team at one time. Unlike in the first gen, when you could all come in and change cars and go back out again. If a safety car comes out, teams are going to have to be in a situation where you are sacrificing one driver over another over the race. So you're going to have teams favouring drivers, and you're going to have drivers that are second best going to be even more annoyed. And I do agree, it's very risky that they could get this wrong. And personally, I don't think we need it. I can understand the fast charging idea, but in my opinion, it shouldn't be during the races. I think this attack charge should only be if the safety car is deployed or the race is stopped. That way, it's a clear cut that nobody's disadvantaged. We get to recharge the cars and we get to go a bit longer. If you put it in the race at this time when it's not ready, there's too many issues that could come up with it. If it's under a safety car or a red flag, it's a bit more controlled and it's a bit more fair on everybody, because otherwise we could end up being really embarrassed. Because I think Formula E have tried very hard for everybody to forget Gen 1 and how they had to swap cars. Gen 2, in my mind, was fantastic. We all got sick of it in the last season and we were just praying for the new cars. I must admit, I want Gen 2 back. But I think now, if they want to do this attack charge, it has to be in a controlled environment until, as you all say, it is 110% ready to go.
Well, I'd rather it go with when it's 100% ready to go, because I disagree that I think they need to do it. Like, for me, it's all about the showing what electric cars can do and showing that. But for me, the races have got to be longer. Like, you've got to charge it, it's got to work, and you've got to, even if it's an hour and 10 minutes or an hour, or an hour, every race is an hour, but you've got to do an attack charge at some point, and it allows you to go faster or something, right? However they want to do it. I think the technology, they have to. I think it's a must. It's a non-negotiable for me that they've got to implement it somehow, some way, and they've got to get it 100% right, obviously. But you're right in what you're saying. It can't be done on a whim. It has to be 100% solid. But people are waiting around. I know 2030 in some countries, UK now 2035 seems a long time away. And I remember speaking to Sylvain Filippi. The technology will improve massively, but this is a step. This is a step that Formula E can say, we done this to get electric cars moving, to put that myth of, I have to spend 45 minutes, an hour charging my car, to get that myth down, say actually you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes charging a car. That's why I'm a bit passionate about it, is because it has to be done, I think. We have to implement it somehow, Josh.
We absolutely do, and it's always one of my big things, is that especially in the early days of when we were seeing charging ports popping up around the UK as well, everyone was going like, I'll just pop in and have a coffee and some biscuits and all that lot, we've got time to wait. And you were sitting there and you were seeing people filling up with diesel or petrol, and it was off in about, minute 30 if you had to go in to pay, 45 seconds if you were paying at the pump. And it's things like that, which is like, we need to get to that level quickly. And you were talking, and it reminded me, I think it was the BMW safety car that Formula E first had.
Yes.
I think it was season 4, maybe
You're
season
talking about
5.
the fast charging pads that it was underneath. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I am, yeah. It was in Hong Kong, I remember, in one of the practice sessions. They wheeled the safety car on and they showed it charging. I thought, that is brilliant. And then they were talking about how the next generation of Formula E would have similar technology and it would be able to be fast charged. And everyone thought, this is fantastic news, brilliant. We'll have more pit stops in the races, but it'll actually be more relevant. And I think the execution hasn't been what they ideated it for. And personally, I don't know why they are having so much trouble when they've had, season 4 was 2017, the start. So it's a long time they've had to figure out this technology. And it's very experimental still. And It's what Formula E is for. I've always said Formula E may stand for Formula Electric, but in my opinion stands for Formula Experiment. It's a giant leap into the unknown, and I do believe that we are getting to a stage where the companies are now focusing more on hydrogen, which isn't the case. In my opinion, it's hydrogen and electric which are the future, because if you can get those two systems working together, it's fantastic. So I've got this feeling that we will see it in Misano. It's either going to be a failure or it's going to be a very exciting race. I do feel, however, that Misano is the wrong track to do it at, because I know why they're doing it, because it's purpose built, but it's a purpose built track. That's the point. It's a race circuit that is for racing, not Formula E. Formula E is a street racing circuit. It's designed to put you in the city centre. We're designed to race where normal cars can't go, and to show off this amazing technology that, look, you all thought it was impossible. You can have electric cars. So to debut it at a racetrack is kind of a kick in the teeth. Yeah. So I don't agree with all the racetracks that are going out anyway. I'd much rather have street tracks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's another talking point for another referee bar, I reckon, and another conversation. But yeah, I think to bring the conversation to a close, it's interesting to see what they'll do in the future. I blame Alejandro Agag. And I'll tell you why I blame Alejandro Agag, because he was the one back in the press conferences, back in the day, back in that time around season 4, saying, yeah, you know, in the future we'll just rip up all the roads, we'll put these wireless charging mats down, and then you can charge your car as you drive. How amazing would that be? And he's true, he's right in what he's saying, like, that's technology, but he's put all these kind of like, he's thrown all this technology, everything that Formula E, oh yeah, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And then we're like, well, push comes to shove, it's time to do it, and it's not worked out. But boys,
where are the 150 cities, Alejandro?
Yeah, where are the 100?
Where are they?
Where are they that want to race? Where are they?